What's up, everybody? Carlos Chavez here. Wanted to give you guys a quick rundown of the most used gear by myself here in our studio and on location for either my commercial work, my headshots, or my real estate and architecture stuff. So we're going to start with the camera bodies, and the first body that we have right here is my Canon R6 Mark II. This is an amazing camera. It is lower megapixels and smaller file sizes, which is great for the work that I do here in the studio, which is a lot of headshots, things that don't necessarily need that super high resolution, where the 20-something megapixels that this has works perfectly for it. I also use it for my real estate work, since that doesn't need super high resolution as well. It has great dynamic range, and it also works really well as a B or C cam for my video work. So the reason I got this is it doesn't have a record limit on it time-wise, and the overheating issues don't really come up that much for me here. And I'm in Tucson, Arizona, and right now outside of our studio, it is 111 degrees, so we need something that can really withstand that heat. And so this is amazing. What I'm filming these videos on right now are my wife's cameras. So she has two Canon R6s, the original ones, and those are amazing cameras as well. They just have a little bit more overheating issues, and they have that record limit on them, so I tend to go for the R6 Mark II for that. Second camera here is the Canon R5ii. This is one of my favorite cameras as a hybrid camera. It is 45 megapixels, so I get that extra megapixels, extra clarity in the photos, extra everything that I need for when I'm doing something like architecture photos, something that's going to go into print, anything like that. I bring this guy out, and I also use it as my B cam or sometimes my A cam for video. And so this can shoot 8K RAW internally, has a ton of different codecs that we can use, has an internal fan right there so it doesn't overheat here in our desert hot summers, and it's just an amazing camera, and I use it all the time. The last body that I really use is this Canon C80. This Canon C80 is an amazing camera. It is 6K full frame. It has triple base ISO at 800, 3200, 12,800, which is amazing and super useful for a lot of the real estate and other things that I do where there's low light. Has internal ND filters, XLR inputs, SDI output, HDMI that's full size, just really everything that I need to be able to just pick up one or two lenses and two of its batteries and be gone and shooting for a whole day on a project. It makes my life so much easier to have this camera, and I'm excited to get to use it a lot more in my day-to-day work and to update you guys on what that looks like. The files out of this are just amazing, and yeah, super excited about this C80. And so I used to have a Canon C70. I went through, and I'll admit it, I went through somewhat of a midlife crisis with my camera gear last year and thought that I needed all kinds of stuff, and I really didn't need it. So I sold my C80 and ended up getting another R5C, and then ended up selling one of those R5Cs, getting a Fuji GFX 100S, because I thought that I needed medium format, and bought into all of that, and then ended up just not liking how large the file sizes were, and it just didn't really work for what I was doing. Ended up selling that and the lenses that went with it. Ended up being a pretty big loss, but I learned, and hopefully I'm through that midlife crisis, and my gas has kind of gone down. Took some Beano or something like that, I don't know, but I feel a lot better. But those are the main three bodies that I use, and like I said, my wife has two Canon R6s, the regular ones, and she loves those. The lenses that I use the most on a day-to-day basis, and you might be surprised by this, the first one is this Rokinon 85 1.4 for the RF mount. It does have autofocus, which is amazing. I used to have the Canon 85 1.2, and that lens is just spectacular. It's an amazing lens, but the cost of it, the weight of it, everything was just too much, and I ended up selling it when I was going through all that gear crap that I went through last year. So this lens is on my R6 Mark II probably all the time for headshots. It's something that I get that fixed focal length because I'm a fidgety person, so I tend to move my camera lenses around a little bit, and to be able to keep it at that 85 millimeter is huge to have this prime, and it only cost me like $400, so it's an amazing lens. Second lens is my 15 to 35 RF L lens, and this is an amazing lens. I love this lens. I use it daily for real estate shoots. I use it for anything that I need a wide angle for. It's sharp, doesn't have any distortion. It's just a great all-around lens for photo and video. Use that all the time. And the last one that I have here with me is my RF 24 to 70. And this is probably the most versatile lens that I use personally. I use this for portraits. I use it for details and interior shots. I use it for just a lot of video work, everything like that. And this lens goes with me pretty much everywhere. We have two other lenses that we use a lot. My wife uses them primarily. It is the 24 to 105 L lens. It's just the f4. We don't have the 2.8. It would be great to have the 2.8, but got to save a bunch of money for that one. And then my wife really likes the 51.4. We got that instead of the 85.1.2, and I think that the 51.4 works really well for her. But that's just a quick rundown of the gear that I use, just camera lenses and bodies here in the studio and on location. Hopefully that just gave you a little insight into what I use on a daily basis. And yeah, I'll talk to you later. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button like everybody else says. Since I'm new to this, we got to get that ball rolling. But I look forward to making more videos for you guys, getting more comfortable on camera, and really just showing you what I do here in our studio. Yeah, I guess that's it.